Well, I'm just going to use the microphone on my computer for now to catch up for that. As for blurry video, well, this is the problem, folks, is that I am the only one here right now. So you're just going to kind of have to take what you can get. Did that help at all? Alrighty. Let's, and the image is focused now. Okay, well, there you go. That's what happens when you work alone. All right, so let me reconfigure what I'm saying here. Thank you for watching. This is Dice Tower Q&A. We're back from the Kickstarter. I'm a little tired, so forgive me if I'm a little unfocused, and sorry that we started a bit late, but we will try to catch up. Lots of different videos coming from Dice Tower this week. I hope you enjoyed the ones that you saw over the weekend. Board Game Breakfast and all, that will be back tomorrow. So I hope that you enjoy all of that. Anyhow, I was mentioning DicetowerKickstarter.com or Dice Tower Kickstarter, which you can find at DicetowerKickstarter.com. If you enjoy what we do here in the Dice Tower and would like to support us, we would really appreciate that. Check it out. But if you already have, and I know many of you have, why not spread the word? Tell people on Facebook or other social media channels, or you can just call them on the phone and be like, hey, like the people who did the pollsters in the time past, who are you voting for? Or maybe not do that. But anyhow, this is a Q&A, so if you have any questions, this is your chance to ask them, and we'll jump in there. Did the Dice Tower Library make it back to the headquarters? Yes, barely, but it is here. Is that a new hat? It is not a new hat. I do not have any new hats. I did not buy any hats on the cruise. I didn't buy almost anything at all. I bought some pictures, but that was it. Oh, I bought some hot sauces. Never mind. Do you like any Mancala-style board games? Yeah, they're okay. I don't love it, but I think they're fine. Five Tribes, I don't love. Aussie, I've not played. Trajan is fine. I enjoy it. Let's see here. Do you have a favorite 4X game? I don't think there were any in your top 100. Well, maybe not, but yes, I do. Are you sure I didn't have a favorite one up in there? It all depends if you consider a 4X. My favorite 4X game is Sid Meier's Civilization 6 on the computer by a mile. Jacob says, I'm attending Dice Tower West for the first time this year. Do I need to be reserving booking gameplays in advance, or can I just show up and have fun? You can 100% just show up and have fun. You do not need to reserve games. I know this because I don't. So just show up and have a good time. There's also people who will demo games to you. You can go in a hot games room. You can put up a players want it, or you look for people with players want it signs. Put up a teacher want it sign. You'll be able to find games. And if you can't, I make the same guarantee I make everywhere. Come find me personally, and I will get you in a game. It was a good mic to have good quality, no background noise. Oh, man, I wish I knew that. What was my favorite cruise moment from this year? I just had a good time. There was a good moment, but it's more personal than not. Do you think there will be a Star Wars version of Unmatched or of Marvel United? Maybe. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. I mean, I should say I've thought about it, but I don't know. Maybe. Will you ever get tired of playing board games? Yes, in the good year 2063, I believe, is when I will retire. Did I do that right? Yeah, I'll be dead. Okay. How many times did you play Ready, Set, Bet on the cruise? I only played it twice on the cruise, I believe. I played it 4 times pre-cruise, though. Where is the best place to trade promos from previous Dice Tower Kickstarters? I don't know. I leave that up to you all to do that sort of thing. Did the Kickstarter open up any differently with you doing 2 videos per day instead of 1 per day? I don't know that affected it at all or not. We'll have to, I don't know. Sorry, folks. My mind is very preoccupied at the moment. I'm trying to shake out the cobwebs. I will try to stay with the questions. When games have an essential edition, does that mean it was released at Essen Spiel? No, that is not what that means. I don't know if you meant it as a joke or if you're asking for real, but that's not true. When a game has an essential edition, basically just the publisher repackaging the game and trying to sell it to you again. What's my favorite food on the cruise? Oh, well, different foods. There's so many different foods that I enjoy on the cruise. My favorite food, I don't know if I had one. I just really enjoyed a lot of food. Was there any marriage proposals on the cruise? I did not hear about any. Tulsa says, "Hi, Tom. I didn't hear Cry Havoc in your top 100. Is there a game that replaced it for you?" Well, yes, the 100 that were already in there. And I know I don't mean that to sound cheap and trite, but in reality, that's just the case. It is. It's very few games get replaced 1-to-1. That does happen. We've done a list of top 10 games that murdered other games. And we've done that sort of thing before. But a lot of times games just fall off the list. There's very rarely a 1-to-1 thing. Anyway, are you excited about Iceman and Marvel Champions? Not particularly. I don't play Marvel Champions very much. Roy showed it to me. I like Iceman, so I'm glad he's coming in. I don't know if I'll play him or not, though. Are you excited for Tales of Arthurian Knights? I don't. Have they just announced something? Because as far as I know, nothing's happening in that regard. But I haven't heard a lot. You must get asked it, but I have a lot of game design ideas. What's the best way to start making them reality? Who to talk to, where to go. Essentially, how to make my designer dream come true. Yeah, so So if you want to make a game design come true, all you got to do is you got to make the game. You just design. Sorry. I apologize, folks. I'll come back to this question just a second. I'm going to go get a drink real quick. I'm just not 100%. I'll get there. I'm feeling great. I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, if you have a lot of design ideas, just make them. Just make the games. And now, if your designer dream is to get published, that's a very different thing. You got to make really good games for that to happen. But make good games and show them off to people. Show them to your friends first, and then go out from there. But also, there's like 10,000 different design groups that you can go to online to get help in that regard. What's the smallest game in size you know with the longest playtime and the largest game with the shortest playtime? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't know. The largest one would be the largest one's easy. That one's the Pass the Pigs, the giant one where you just throw the pigs. But the smallest one, that's the longest. I don't know. What 10 games just missed out on being on the people's top 100? I will actually tell you that. That's a fun thing. Me and Chris will probably do some sort of where is it? Sorry, I'm pulling this up here. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I hear a horn from a car. All right, the top 100 games from People's Choice that just missed out would be Rajas of the Ganges. No, wait. I thought that one made it. Maybe, I don't know. Anachrony, Sagrada, Robinson Crusoe, Final Girl. That's pretty impressive, though. Final Girl is, for a solo game, getting up there. Cartographers, Eldritch Horror, Codenames, and Lost Cities. So there you go. Sorry, that was the question I was just answering. Do you plan on finishing Frosthaven? Yes, but I'm being a little lazy and delaying it so that I can. I think I want to play it on the app. On the app. Have you played Wormspan? I have not. Next question. Have you seen Wormspan? I have not. So we'll get around to playing it eventually. That's how it always works. Am I keeping up with Magic the Gathering? No. I mean, I played Lord of the Rings when I came out last year. I bought a couple of the Doctor Who decks. I'm keeping them. So I have them. And, I'll buy a few decks once in a while and play it. But I don't keep up with it. That'd be a very expensive thing. I don't really even keep up with it information-wise because I only have so much room in my head. A grown Vasel children update. Well, my daughter just had her second child, Rose. So that was in let's say December. What's December? Was it January? It's all blurring together. I think it was December. Was it January? It's one of those times. This has been a long month. It was January. So that's exciting. Amy is off to college. She's going to be graduating in May. And Holly's off to college. She'll be graduating in May and a couple years from now. So that's the update. Is the cruise the best of the Dice Tower events for getting a bunch of games played with a bunch of people? Well, it's one of them. I mean, if you just want to play games, you're probably better off not going on the cruise because you would be missing out on all the cruise stuff. We always tell it to people, don't go on the cruise if you just want to play games. I mean, you can do that, and some people do, and I'm thinking, but why? You could also just go to like Dice Tower East or Dice Tower West and play games the whole time. And then you wouldn't feel bad about not going to the cruise shows or not eating the meals on the cruise ship or whatever. Unless, of course, you just I just want to play games, but also eat delicious food the whole time. Well, then go on the cruise. When reviewing board games, how often do you see something truly novel? Well, you'll never know for sure on that one. Because you'll never know for sure on that one because you don't often see something that's particularly novel or different. But I mean, what is truly novel? What 10 games just missed out on being on your top 100? Well, that is a top 10 list for another time. That one I'm saving for a video. We had our fourth son this weekend. Any game recommendations for the week? Crowd? No. Did the grandkids make it on the cruise? No. But here's the thing, you couldn't anyway. There's a certain age, I want to say it's 4 months or something, they don't even allow any babies on the ship that young. I don't think it's particularly great. It's tough to bring a baby on a cruise ship anyway, unless you have a willing grandmother, which last year when Melody came to watch them, then you bring them. Am I excited for the Ready, Set, Bet High Roller Edition? I am indeed. What games on Z or Mike's Top 100 can you not believe they rate so high because of their personal preference in games? Oh, I mean, that's the thing though. Because it's on their Top 100, I guess I wouldn't be so surprised. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, I could go back and look and maybe see where I was surprised to see it on their list. But if it's on your list, I'm like, well, then now that your personal preferences have morphed and changed into that. What's the weirdest interaction you have with a fan person? People ask me this all the time, hoping, I guess, for some weird, strange story. And I'm afraid because if I start telling these, then people come up and try to be weird with me on purpose. I have lots of great interaction with people when I run into them. It's pretty fantastic. Where did Ra fall into people's top 100? It was 100. It debuted at 100. It was 50 once, and then it fell off the list completely. What are you most looking forward to at the Dice Tower this year? Oh, well, looking forward to seeing things in the future. Just finished watching the top 100 of 2 weeks ago. Now you guys are back to the regular schedule, so I barely noticed you're on a cruise. Well, if you had noticed, we were running Dice Tower TV, so hopefully you would have enjoyed that. Everyone on the Dice Tower staff has great camera presence. Which reviewer has to do the most takes before they nail it? Does anyone use a teleprompter? Well, A, I'll never tell you that information because I don't. That's up to them if they want to. If people want to reveal how many people do retakes and stuff. If you want to know who does the fewest takes, well, you'd be like, we know, Tom, it's you because we see all your mistakes, and that is correct. Sometimes you can have so for me. And am I blurry again? It looks like I got blurry again. Well, I apologize. That's weird. I shouldn't be blurry. But it looks really blurry. It's focusing on the can. Oh, let's take the can off screen. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyhow. So what was the question? Everyone, so teleprompter. Some people have notes. You know what? So I have found that for me, I can riff off the cuff. I really can. I can just talk about anything for a long time. I can just go on and on. But it doesn't help you focus. So it's good to write notes. And so I do write notes. So let's say I'm preaching, for example. I always have an outline because I just would go on and on forever. But an outline, you follow it. But if you would see, if you've ever seen me preach and then you saw a printed copy of what I preached, you would wonder if it was, well, you would know it was the same. But you would think, did you look at this at all in many ways? Because I'll read the paragraph real quick in my head, and then the way it comes out is different. There's something to being prepared, though. There's something to be said for being very prepared. It's just the way it is. It's if you're prepared, you're ready to go. And so I don't love overly scripted stuff. Although I do love overly scripted stuff since I watch movies. But like YouTube channels and things where they're very, very scripted, I'm not as fond of them myself. I kind of like off the cuff. I think off the cuff works especially better when you have multiple people going back and forth. But sorry. But for the most part, I think there's a balance between them, and you also have to know how well you're doing at them. All right. When will we see the stats video for this year's top 100? I don't know at this present point. Was surprised to see you only rated Tales to Amaze 7.5 compared to everyone else's much higher. Why do you think your rating was so much lower? Well, see, that's a comparison thing. If I played Tales of Amaze and I came and said this is a fun game, you wouldn't think anything about it. But everyone else at Dice Tower raved about it and gave it a 10, so then you're like, well, then you don't like it at all, which is unfortunate, but that's how we look at ratings. I like Unmatched, but it's because of that comparison. People are like, well, then you hate it. In fact, there was a joke for a while because I guess Chris gave it a 9.5 when he hated it. Well, I guess I really hate it then, right, as the joke. But unfortunately, those jokes, and you notice we do that sometimes in the Dice Tower, but I pulled back from doing it because people really get into it. Like, why didn't you like it more? I liked it. You know, it's kind of like if you eat someone's meal and you like eat something, you're like, this is delicious. They're like, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Just pretty good? Like, well, come on, man. I'm not lying to you. So I know why I don't love it as much as everybody else, because I am on a personal level starting to fade off from cooperative games. Not like I dislike them or anything, but I like competitive more. And I really like Unmatched competitive. And I find that playing against the AI, which I felt was more of a random card draw, which you're like, ooh, he hasn't done this yet. I get why people do that, but I wanted to play other people and try to outguess them. I find that to be more fun. That's all. But I still like the game. Again, it's a weird thing. Let's see where we are here. Oh, I'm not. You said you hope I get better. I'm not sick at all. I'm fine. I feel great. I'm just a little off on, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, Tales for Theory Nights is a summer 2024 release in the Quixotic Games Gallery. Oh, so they're the ones picking it up. Okay, well that's useful. Thank you. Oh, I put the drink back in it. Ah, we've been fooled. And maybe if I put it back here, then it will focus on both of us. No, now it's focusing on the computer. Man. Sorry about this weird focusing issue, folks. Ah, well, I don't know why it's doing that. But now it seems dark. Well, whatever. Dark is not too bad. Okay, thank you, AM, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Do I plan on reviewing Horrified Greek Monsters? Probably not so bad. How come you guys haven't reviewed Familia? Has anyone in Dice Tower played it? You need to go back and watch. Okay, it's going to bother me. My hat's out of screen here. Let me get this fixed. Sorry. There we go. Much better. Anyway, you need to go back and watch the video I just put up about the problem with being a board game reviewer, because I specifically mentioned your question, sort of. Should DC Comics be doing more to catch up with Marvel in terms of board game quality? I don't think DC Comics cares one way or the other. They just want to make money, so I don't think it matters to them. Do you still get time to continue your Sleeping Gods campaign? Well, I mean, you finished the game. I finished it and I played through it again. So it's not. I mean, and has it held up since the review? You didn't watch my top 100. Have you given up that Greek-themed campaign game that the app crashed for you, Aeon's Trespass? I have not decided 100% yet. Oh, yes. My daughter is reminding me that my granddaughter was born December 29th. I knew that. But there's childcare on the cruise, says Jim. Not for babies. There's childcare for kids. They don't want to take care of babies. They don't have a nursery on the cruise. I believe your kid has to be potty trained before you can go to the childcare. Any tips for getting into games at con with new people? You know, that's different. It's different for different people. You know, for someone like me, I just go hunt down the game and I'll ask, is there a room here for me to sit? Or if I don't know what else to do, I'll put up a game and I'll invite people to join me. I like doing that. I'm more extroverted though, so that's sorry, I forgot what I was saying there. I'm more extroverted, so that's less of a problem. But That was weird. But sorry, we're going to start all over again. Any tips for getting into games at cons with new people? Yes. If you're extroverted, just go play games. But if you're introverted, it's harder. So look for player wanted signs. That's what I would do. Now, unfortunately, and this is something I'm trying to work on at my cons, is a lot of people put a player wanted sign. They get people, they start the game, they leave the player wanted sign up. And I know that sucks because you come up, can I join? We've already started. Then why do you have the player wanted sign up? And it's not everyone's being nefarious there. People just forgot to take it down. But if they haven't started and they have the player wanted sign, look for that. But also you could put up a game and put a teacher's wanted sign up. But realize you might put up a game that nobody wants to play. So don't be offended if no one joins you in that regard. But pick a popular game and you're in. Did I see the iHeart Board Games review of Dice Tower East? What do you think of his criticisms? iHeart Board Games. iHeart Board Games. Dice Tower East. Oh, it's a YouTube video thing. Well, I can't watch that now then. So this might be my last Dice Tower East. Oh, well, no, I guess I haven't seen it. It doesn't sound like it's a super positive. I don't know what his criticisms are. Well, I apologize. I don't. This person says, I agree with you. Dice Tower Con, meh. I'm feeling that way about the Dice Tower in general. Okay. Well, anyhow. So anyhow, I don't know. Where am I? I'm not asking where I am in like life. I know where I am. There I am. Okay. All right. Well, if you could tell me what the criticisms were, I can probably address them. But I'll tell you what I know. Some people were criticized we didn't do enough shows and stuff, and my reasoning for that is pretty clear because we were running the con and getting everything set up. We did it the year before, but it was our second year. We want to make sure we did it well, and for us to do a lot of different shows on top of that is harder to focus on. Growing in size. We only have the same amount of space that we had, and I deliberately shrank it so that we could manage it well. We don't want to lose money on conventions. It's really easy to lose money on conventions. And in fact, the Dice Tower convention in particular had lost money every year. So we didn't want that to keep happening because, we want a convention to be affordable and that people can go to, but we don't want it to be, we don't want to lose money on the deal because it's a lot of our time to get that ready. There's a lot of costs that go into it. But anyway, so events. But we are adding more events this year. We have a lot of fun events. We have Grant coming in, doing a comedy show. We're going to do a top 10 there. Joey's going to be doing a magic show there. So we have these different events that we're going to have at the show. I actually don't know what the other criticisms were. So you can maybe someone will tell me or I'll watch the video later. But again, I mean, if someone doesn't like something, and I watch critique videos and you take them to heart. It's just like if someone makes a game, I'm going to critique that game. I'm going to give all these points. I don't know that you should go necessarily to the designer of the game and be like, so what do you think about Tom Vasel's criticisms? That's not very fun for them, I suppose. I don't mind as much. You can ask me, but I don't know. Have you ever taught a game for the first time and got some rules wrong? Oh my word. I've done it at least 100+ times. I don't love it. He says, it happens to me often. I'm feeling ashamed, so now I'm nervous when teaching a new game. Doesn't matter. You're the one teaching the game. Remember that. They didn't teach the game. It's tough to teach games. So I give credit. If I'm playing a game and someone taught a rule wrong, like, okay, yeah, bummer. But we'll get it right next time, or we'll get it right now, whatever it is. It's not a huge thing. Who does the artwork for the Dice Tower? That would be Tina Bangorno. She doesn't do all of it, but she does a lot of it. What game splits the Dice Tower team the most in terms of love and hate? I don't know if we have a specific one. Do you still try to convince each other to feel one way or the other about it? Not real. I mean, maybe some. I don't think anyone here really does that. If we know someone doesn't like a game, why would we try to make them like it? Let's see here. What is the next Dice Tower event? No, the next Dice Tower event is not Dice Tower East, but you should still consider coming to Dice Tower East. The next Dice Tower event is Dice Tower West, happening in just a bit. Since starting Dice Tower Encore, how have you found engagement on the main channel? I found I've been recommending your videos less from YouTube. Huh. Well, I don't know what or how that's happened. Am I still doing 10,000 steps a day? I'm not, but I should be. Dealing with an issue with a neighbor that's heading to court next week. Have you ever had trouble with a neighbor, and how did you resolve it? Not really. We've had minor disagreements with neighbors, I think, in the past, but we've never had anything we went to court over it. Right now, our neighborhood is fantastic. Welcome back. Did you get to do any reading on the vacation? Yeah, when I was on a cruise, I read through almost 4 books, I think. I really like to read, and so I did that a lot. Ooh, and someone gave me some books. That was nice of them. One of our cruise goers wrote a book and also gave me a short story where she wrote a couple of the short stories. I did not read the book that she wrote, but I read the short story that she wrote in the book of short stories, and it was fantastic. Let's see here. Did you get Magical Athlete played on the cruise? Yeah, I want to say I don't know how many times I played it. I think it was 4 times. It might have been 5. It was 4 or 5 times. I do like playing Magical Athlete, so that was fun. Let's see here. Did you play any games with Sam Healy on the cruise? You know what? I did not play any games with Sam on the cruise, and I told him I'm sorry about that. I'm going to have to play some games with him at Dice Tower West. Do you think you will do anything collaboratively with Sam? We just had him on the cruise, and we did a top 5 there, a top 5 games. It should be in the Dice Tower library, and it was recorded. I don't think it's great quality because it's recorded on a cruise ship moving across the ocean, but we did record it, and we'll be posting that on our channel. We hope you enjoy that. Are you going to MegaCon in Orlando in 2 weeks? Likely not. I like that stuff, but Orlando's a far ways away. I don't think I'm going to be heading up there. Ready, Set, Bet was your most played game in 2023. Do you know what your second most played? Probably well, I don't know. I have to think about the smaller games, but Ticket to Ride Legacy? Because I played through all 12 games. And then I started another one with my family. So that might be it. But I'm sure there's another game I'm missing that I played a ton. I played Earth a decent amount. I'm sure there's something else I played a lot. I played a lot of Veil of Eternity. So it might have been that too. Any plan to play or review the Plum Island Horror from GMT Games? I don't know. We got it. It looks interesting, but I haven't played it yet. Thank you, John, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Lack of networking opportunities, lack of shows, events, no designer demo area. Okay. Well, that's good. That's an easier thing to answer. So lack of networking opportunities. I don't... For who? For people? Because, I mean, the whole con's a networking opportunity. But if you're talking about designer to publisher, publisher to designer, I don't know. I feel like you should make your own networking opportunities in that regard. But I can see why some shows have those. Lack of shows events, that one we are working on. No designer demo area. Yeah, I know. We have a demo area. You can demo, but you have to pay for the privilege to do so. And I'll tell you why we don't have a designer demo area, because we don't have that much space. And if you have a designer demo area, this is what often happens. Designers will come there, they'll set their game up, they put up a sign that advertises Kickstarter coming soon, they take over the table, and they sit there forever, and they make you feel real bad if you don't play their game. They look there, sit there sad. That doesn't necessarily add to the fun of cons. I get it. Some people really do like that sort of thing. And I think, and we encourage designers to demo that are think, hey, you got a game, bring it, demo it. Demo all over the place. Demo, demo, demo. I don't care. You just don't own a table. Because at one of the early Dice Tower conventions, I remember I went in and you walked in the side of the big banquet hall, and these first 6 tables, these people sat at them, boom, 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 set up their game, and stayed there the whole con because they wanted those first tables as people came in. Like, yeah, you're not an exhibitor. You really, and that's not fair to the exhibitors because they could just do that. I mean, CMON would be like, hey, we're going to put up a brand new game right here on this table. And then everyone's going to come look at their thing. So I get the gumption and the go-to-itness, and you should go out and demo your game, but you have to have some decorum about it. And so that's one of the reasons there in that regard. Have you ever taught a game for the first time and got all the rules right? Yeah, maybe. So, sounds like he's missing the point of the con besides the designer demo thing. Well, no, look, I don't think everything is for everybody. If people don't love a con, you don't like my con. No, I mean, everyone wants different things. Like Gen Con and Dice Tower Con are 2 very, very different cons. And so I fully expect people to have different, what you might like one, you might not like the other, or you might like both for different reasons. That's fine. There's conventions. I don't know that I've ever gone to. Sorry. I've never been to a con that I disliked per se. There's some cons I haven't liked as much as others, but like there's just something about going to a convention that's fun. But, there's going to be some I like more than others. How big is the Dice Tower West library? Humongous. Now, they don't even bring all of it in because a lot of it is shelves and shelves of games that no one wants to play. But I want to say there was 40 shelves of games. We're talking, 3,000-4,000 games. It's a big library. Am I ever going to do top 10 dinosaur games? Yeah, probably at some point. I'm going to Tampa in June. Anything noteworthy for me to check out, game or non-game related? Well, I'll let the Tampa people answer that question. But I do know there's a Tampa Gaming Guild now. I did not know that, so that's kind of cool. They have their own place to game. Are you going to do the seasonal spectaculars this year? I didn't spot them on your Kickstarter, but I might have missed it. We're going to do a couple of the spectaculars this year, so keep an eye out for that. How much Brandon Sanderson did you read in the cruise? 0, actually. I was reading other stuff instead. Tom read less than Brandon wrote. That's probably true. Was Brandon Sanderson on the cruise? I didn't see him. When you play a new game, and realize halfway through you were playing it wrong, do you immediately change to the correct way of playing it, or do you play it out and fix it on the next play? So it all depends on, like how much does it affect the game? So if it's a minor thing, I'm like, oh, you know what? We were supposed to do this. We were supposed to have this. If it's fixable in any sort of fashion, we immediately correct it. If it's, we missed this major rule, we're going to start following that rule. Starting with you, you're going first. Oh, that ruined my strategy. Well, guess what? It was a first-time game anyway. Who cares? But secondly, yeah, if it like ruins the game, then we'll restart. Those are kind of the things. Did I think the hobby would become this popular? I don't know. I never really thought much about it, honestly. So the internet has made a lot of hobbies more popular. Will there be a vlog video of the cruise? Yes, but it's mostly just going to be pictures and stuff, not a lot of, ooh, look what we're doing, because we didn't want to do that. We just wanted to have a good time on the cruise. How do you choose the games to be on the top 100 games each year? I picked my favorite 100 games. That's what I do. Brian Whipple gave me a super chat. I need you to please read the Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Dinneman. I know you'll love it. Well, I don't know. Don't say you'll know I love it because you never. I don't know. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, I'll look it up here. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Oh, it's a lit RPG thing. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little tired of the lit RPG things because they're just so. Only a few go inside. Wait, did I not read this? Like, you weren't allowed to go in. Like, if you go in, you can't come out, right? But if you didn't go in, you were, like, stuck on a hellscape on Earth. Wasn't that it? Well, anyway, it's free with Kindle Unlimited, so I'll read it for free, which is going to make me put another book back. Well, we'll get rid of, I don't know. Oh, that's weird. I had Ender's Game checked out? How weird. All right. Okay, there we go. And now add it to my list. So, there you go. When will the next crowd surfing episode be? It'll be this Wednesday. My favorite game I played on the cruise was Ready, Set, Bet. But I did have some great rollicking games. Cosmic Encounter, Magical Athlete, things like that. Oh, another super chat from Ryan. Thank you for putting on these conventions. I love the cruise and signed up for my first Space Tower East. My favorite game I played in the cruise, well, I just said was probably Ready, Set, Bet. But, I mean, of games, it was a good game of Cosmic. I don't know. I played a lot of fun games in the cruise. I had a good game of, what was that? That Christmas game was fun, too, from Elf Creek Games. I just had fun talking to people. Mike Keller says the Tamping Gaming Guild is okay. Yeah, but Mike, all you have to do is get like 10 people like yourself to go join it. Then you can make it cooler. That's what I would do. They have a great place to play a game. Did you get a spinball table yet? You know, I had someone... Well, actually, Bruce, you know you sent me the person. They said they were working on it. I haven't got it yet, though. So, hopefully I'll get it. Do you think Ready, Set, Bet needs to lean more towards random number generator or have more mitigation to become more strategic? I think it's caught in between right now. Oh, I think Ready, Set, Bet is perfect. Perfect. Well, it's not perfect. There's one small flaw in the game. There's not enough of the special cards, I think, and because I think the green cards are boring. So the ones that just give you money. Although I'm always surprised by the number of people who pick them. I'm like, you're picking just money? That's not fun. But I think there needs to be more of them. But who knows? Maybe there'll be more in the future. Is Mike flying first class or economy to Iceland? I don't know. The bucket seat? Did you do any excursions on the cruise this year? I don't normally do excursions on the cruise. I have my family with me, and excursions times family is a pretty pricey thing. Excursions are not particularly cheap. I've done a few excursions in my life, but I didn't do any this cruise. I didn't do any last cruise. I don't normally do them. We rather spend our money doing other things. Is it more fun beating Roy or Z? I try not to beat anybody, if possible. More fun losing to Wendy or Chris? I don't... What? Let's see. Are dexterity games particularly hard to play on the cruise? Um, no, I don't think so. I mean, if it's really rocking, I suppose it can happen sometimes. But for the most part, I don't. I've noticed it being a problem. Oh, okay, folks. I apologize. I think I'm gonna have to uh, to end here. Just because I got other things I gotta get done, and not 100% here right now. I apologize. I should not do things where I don't give you all full attention, folks. I do appreciate each and every one of you. We have really good stuff coming this week. Okay, we got Board Game Breakfast coming tomorrow, and then Wednesday we got crowd surfing, and then Thursday we have Board Game Smorgasbord, and we have a top 10 anticipated games of 2024 coming. So I hope that you all enjoy that. Um, we have actually top 2024 anticipated games. We'll be seeing those go up throughout this week. We and as various other things are going up, we have some of the shows that we did on the cruise. We're going to post them because they were recorded there, and yeah. So I hope that you all enjoyed. Well, sorry, you probably didn't enjoy this, but I know that you came in anyway, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, wow. It's already 11 here, so wow. All right. Well, folks, I do appreciate you coming on board. I will see you all next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. Where's my outro?